All right, man. We live. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Um, Hit the link tree, man. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. You know, it's the season where the weather changing and ninjas getting sick out here. Um, I should have a fitness one-on-one video coming up sometime soon. Um, but yeah, hit the link tree. I'm gonna listen to this episode after. It's about an hour or two afterwards. You can find it on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Apple Podcast. I mean everywhere shit happen, all that shit. Spotify. I mean, if I ain't got something that you're looking for, I add it. You can listen to it on YouTube, the whole nine. Um, yeah, today we're gonna be talking about how giving up the money to Al Haymon. Um, it seemed like he got to put his own money up. Also, we're gonna talk about Errol Spence looking out of shape out here. Um, he looking out of shape up out here, shit, man. And people talking about him and shit. We might not get the rematch because Al Haymon ain't got nowhere. Where you gonna get the money to pay for the rematch and pay them high ass guarantees? You know. Um, then in addition to that, man, we gonna talk about MMA fighters popping this shit versus boxing, and what Ngannou did. Now they getting brave and thinking they can cross over and coming and get a dub. So I mean, so yeah, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Shout out to Jalen. He said, on the real, I'm thinking about starting to really learn how to box. I mean, yeah, I mean, shit, wrestle, box, jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, weaponry, you know, shit. Yep, get into all that shit. I want to start like learning mixed martial arts. I just got to find the time. I know the gym I want to go to. He said Al Heyman screwed over every network possible and gained nothing out of it too. Well, he gained something out of it. A crook always gains something out of it. He gained money. He gained money out of it. He finessed money, took money. Um, he definitely gained some shit up out of it. Watching the Pistons and the Blazers on my other computer screen and shit. So if you see me looking over, I'm kind of like paying attention to the Pistons and Blazer game and shit. Um, but yeah, he definitely gained something out of it, bro. Him and Don King is the same thing. Hook or crook. Difference is Don King was in the middle of. I mean, why is Bagley shooting threes? So, man, dude, fuck is you shooting threes for? Swing the ball. Swing the ball. But yeah, man, he gained something from it for sure. But yeah, we can start off with the Errol Spence shit. I go to MMA, then I end off on Al. Just making sure everybody know we live, so I'm sharing it. Don't forget you can watch it live on watch it live on Kick, Twitch, Facebook, obviously YouTube, Goodfella TV. Shout out to everybody watching. Um, uh, for sure. But give me a minute. Just make sure I share all this shit, man. Everybody. Go to the video now. For the most part, it's a video of Errol Spence looking out of shape and shit. And I mean, at the end of the day, it don't surprise me none. Uh when you don't, some people say, oh, he don't look that out of shape, and some people say he do. I'm not. Body types is different. You know what I'm saying? Some people, I know, people that used to wrestle. I know these two dudes who had a rivalry, and it was over a chick in high school and shit. And they used to wrestle, and one guy looked heavier than the other guy, but the other guy was actually heavier, and he was going around telling people, yeah, me, the guy that looks skinny but really fat. And I'm like, dog, all this over a chick, literally. I was kind of cool with both of them. I stayed the hell up out of that shit, but it was all over a chick. And people saying he looking out of shape. He buying a nice dog. He got some great dogs out there in Texas. He wearing the pink. It was breast cancer awareness month and shit like that, man. And people saying he got titties and he got a gut and all that shit. Like he got some run recovery shoes on too. And like, you know, some people saying, you know what, that's just what he looked like, what he walk around at. And then people saying, yeah, that's why Floyd said he should be, you know, that's why Floyd said that he should be at 168. If you think Errol Spence can survive at 168 and you believe that bull crap Floyd Mayweather talking about, you smoking some good rocks. Y'all really don't understand weight classes. And people say, well, you know, people say his balance look off. And I mean, I ain't like nobody. This ain't that weirdo ego looking at people bodies and shit, man. I don't know what to say. You know, to me, you know, I don't know what he weigh or how far off he is and shit. He look happy. You know, he be getting his money and shit, man, spending his money, whatever. Like he ain't worried about, you know, Al Haymon coming through with the guarantee for the rematch. He's spending the money he made from his last fight and shit. But, you know, people saying he look out of shape, he look fat and shit. I mean, I don't know, bro. Y'all made a determining factor. They probably ain't gonna rematch it sometime in the summertime to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? They probably not gonna rematch no time in the summertime. So I mean, shit, people can make their determining factors on physically what's going on with the guy and you know what he weigh. I don't think he looked too far out of shape or nothing like that. I think he probably like an eight week camp out of probably being on. I mean, remember they go up 7 pounds. They go up 7 pounds, so he gonna probably be fighting at 54. So he ain't too far off, man. But in my humble opinion, dude, if I was in this position, dude, you know, and it's hard, when you get that paycheck and all that shit. But if I was in this position, I would be more hungry. I would be more hungry, bro. I would literally be more hungry. I would be in the gym. I'll probably be, more fit, more hungry to get back. And like I said before, a lot of these boxers that fight today, they fight for money. They don't fight for glory. They fight for the dollar. So guess what? His money start coming in from the fight. He good. You know, he ain't really fighting for pride, fighting because how embarrassed he was, because you ain't really embarrassed because this ain't what you really want to do. You know, if he really was hell bent on making a statement on Terrence Crawford, this dude would have been killed mode. Crawford was just in the fucking gym today. I seen on Fight Hype, he was in the gym, and he stayed in the gym. And I think that's part of him kind of staying in Nebraska and shit. Kind of keep him rooted and never forget where he come from. You know what I'm saying? But Terrence Crawford was just in the gym today working with some young fighters. And they tell people, keep you, hang around young people, keep you young. You know what I'm saying? Hang around young people and they keep you young. But, like I continue to say, bro, like you got one dude in Terrence Crawford who live in the gym, who own the gym, live in the gym. You got another dude in Errol Spence who look like, if he ain't got no fight coming up, that motherfucker ain't in the gym. You would think the way he got embarrassed that he'd be hell bent. He'd be hell bent on trying to get it back. You would think a ninja to be hell bent on trying to get on trying to get it back. But that ain't the case. Everybody different. Everybody different, bro. Everybody different. Everybody don't have that killer instinct or, you know what, I'm gonna get it back. Because it like he's just enjoying his money, spending his money, enjoying his life. It ain't even like he lost. Because you think, man, that motherfucker be hell bent. Remember Sugar Ray Leonard lost to Roberto Duran? He was obsessed. He was obsessed. He was obsessed with getting his loss back. But then again, he did like disrespect his wife and shit. But it was an obsession, getting that loss back, getting that lick back on Roberto Duran. And he made him quit. I think that's better than knocking out. No matter what Roberto Duran said, I didn't say no, Moss Man Ninja, you quit. And he's so great that he quit, and a lot of people still consider him as a top 5 fighter of all time. And you kind of seen it in the Rocky movies, and people say, "Oh, it's not real," but it portrays a lot of real things the fighters go through. When you talking about a lot of these fighters, man, when they start sleeping in silk sheets, when they start getting the money, You know, they not hungry no more. They don't have a killer instinct. Errol Spence used to be a killer. You know, Errol Spence used to be hungry, and Al Haymon then financed all that shit out that ass. He ain't hungry no more. You know, he wasn't really disappointed about a loss. Like, he didn't give a fuck. He made his money. He really don't care if he get his lick back, bro. I just think the next time he want to be more respectable and probably make it to the final bill. He want to give a better performance. But if he wanted to give a better performance off rip, then you already know he wouldn't have been at a day party while he was in camp. If he was serious about changing his life around, he probably would have moved the hell out of Texas after that shit happened with the car. You know what I'm saying? At least move his camp somewhere else. And he ain't, he happy where he at. He 100% happy where he at. So, like I said before, you know, he got to give us a reason to get behind the rematch. He got to give us a reason to finance the rematch. He got to give us a reason to be hyped. What if he popped out in this video and he was chiseled and shit? He looked ready for the fight. Even if he was a little bit more stocky and shit, like he put muscle on so he can get ready for war with Terrence Crawford and come down and be chiseled. I think people be like, oh shit, Terrence Crawford might be in a bit of trouble. Look at Errol Spence. He gaining some muscle to get ready to fuck Terrence Crawford up. That's what people will be saying. But he not giving us one reason. He lose, first thing he do is fly out the country. That's the first thing he do. He on the best thing smoking. You know, then he overseas with his chick getting drunk and shit and all that other shit. And, you know, like I said before, people that got your best interest, they don't put you in them positions. Like when she had him on TikTok drunk as hell or high off pills or whatever his medicine was shit, man, people that got your best interest, a woman who got your best interest don't put that out for clout. They don't let that video get out. A nigga drunk in the club, kissing on niggas, kissing on Yellow Beezy. People that got your best interest around you, they don't put that shit out. It's kind of like the person who put the video out of Kell Brook, you know, playing in the snow. Come on. Come on. And all the people around him enable him to have these bad fucking habits. And more now than ever, you think he should tighten up because it's tied to the bag. You got to convince us that the rematch going to be different. Just having a rematch at 154 pounds, that's not enough to sell people to spend 80, 90 bucks on the fight. That's not enough. You got to give us something to work with. You got to be in better shape. You got to be showing us that you train. You got to be showing us that you're serious. You got to be showing us that you want to get it back. I mean, has he did an interview since losing? No. He told somebody that I know of that the reason he didn't go to the Charlo Canelo fight because he didn't want to get bombarded with questions. Like, dog, at the end of the day, bro, the questions going to be there, like it or not. At some point, you're going to have to do an interview. At some point, people going to want answers. You know? At some point. But right now, you ain't giving nobody nothing to say, to hold on to have a reason to sell or buy this fight. And that's sad. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing to grab onto. And it's mad unfortunate, bro. And maybe they don't rematch. Maybe Al Haymon sells some of these contracts off what we're going to talk about. But all the money that he allegedly pocketed out of this shit, dude, he got enough money to pay these ninjas. But the problem is they got guarantees. Every PBC fighter got a guarantee. Especially the top fighters. Deontay Wilder guarantee, I heard, is $20 million. That's why Showtime didn't want to put on no Wilder fight. Wilder ain't worth $20 million. He probably ain't worth 25% of that shit. Jamil Charlo won undisputed. It was a stipend in his contract. Well, you owe him $10 million. You know, this is why Al Haymon don't promote undisputed. This is why he probably don't promote undisputed, you know, moving up in weight and getting belts, because that probably get them more money in their contracts. You know, they probably get a certain number of fights or more money in the contract. So it's probably all type of stipends in those contracts. All type of stipends. This is why you see these dudes fight once a year. This is why you see these dudes reluctant to unify. This is why they're reluctant to be undisputed. If Jamil Charlo had an undisputed clause, if he win, he get $10 million. I mean, what else do upper echelon fighters get? What do the Wilder get? This is why he didn't want to let Wilder unify with Anthony Joshua. This is why he was trying to steer Errol Spence away from Terrence Crawford, because Errol Spence would have beat Terrence Crawford. He probably would have owed him 10 or some money on top of what he already got. He inflated the market, and then Eddie Hearn inflated it again. This is what happened when you overpay people to keep them away from Al Haymon, to keep them away from Kathy Duva, to keep them away from Eddie Hearn and shit. Same thing for Eddie Hearn. Al and Eddie Hearn inflated the market. And what did they get from it? Nothing. Al Haymon wasted a bunch of TV time and investors' money. What did Eddie Hearn get to it? He didn't got shit to show for it. No Danny Jacobs, no Jesse Vargas, no Lillian White. Anthony Joshua ain't shit. He ain't got nothing to show for it. Al Haymon done put all this time and money into certain fighters and ain't got shit to show for it. Not for Marcus Brown, not for Errol Spence, not for Deontay Wilder, nothing. And it wasn't for Deontay Wilder, shit, PBC will probably be already defunct. If it wasn't for Tyson Fury, excuse me, they probably would already be defunct. So it's like when you spoil a kid or some shit like that. Before I move on, I'm gonna talk about the MMA, then I'm gonna get to finish on Al. It's like if you spoil a kid, give him everything you want, then when it's time for him, especially men, boys, it's cool. I mean, for the most part, women always gonna be spoiled. You know what I'm saying? I seen this gremlin looking bitch at the gym with a fat ass. Somebody gonna spoil it. Somebody gonna get up in it. Somebody gonna be like, well, it's convenient. Women will always be spoiled on all spectrums. I mean, shit, look at your 600-pound, 500-pound life. I don't know what that show called. I always see clips from it. Even they got men and husband on their side. So you look at a lot of these women out here, who hitting the wall. Me and Adonis was talking about that this morning and shit. A lot of these women who don't got men, that say a lot about you. You know what I'm saying? And then they tell you, oh, I don't want a man, or he got to be perfect. They live in la la land. Meanwhile, they go out here, I'm celibate and until I find the right person. It's a Pookie, a Ray Ray, or a ninja that's hitting it and ain't giving nothing back to him. That's why I said, man, I don't take what women say serious, bro. You got to show me. And I tell y'all that all the time, man. We talked about that in the Discord a couple hours ago. I don't believe shit nobody say. You got to show me. And I double down for women on that. You got to show me. You got to earn my loyalty. You got to earn my trust. You got to earn my time. You know what I'm saying? You got to earn my money, all that shit. Money ain't shit. Contrary to what people believe, you can trick off money all day if that's what you believe in. When you start tricking off time, you can't get time back. You get $100 back. You get $500 back. You get a couple thousand for a vacation back. You can get that back. Can't get that 10 minutes back. Can't get that 30 minutes back. That's the one thing you don't have time to waste. Even with motherfuckers with money, they ain't got time to waste. They don't have time to waste. They got money to waste, but you never want to trade off. You never want to waste time. You want to be as much productive with your time as possible. If you're going to say, you know what, I'm tired. I worked my ass off for the last 4 or 5 weeks. I'm chilling. I'm sleeping for the weekend. Guess what? That's a good trade-off. I keep telling y'all, people say, oh, I can sleep when you die, whatever. Yeah, when you're on the grind, you can't sleep like you want to sleep. I get it. When you sleep, that's when your body repairs itself. That's why a lot of you ninjas sick and shit. You wake up and drinking Coca-Cola in the middle of the night, eat some bullshit in the middle of the night. When you sleep, that's when your body is repairing itself. If you ever wake up and notice like you were never hungry when you wake up, unless you was drunk or some shit, or you high, you wake up and wake and bake. If you wake up, you sleep naturally, you could sleep hungry. You wake up, you don't be hungry at all. You know what I'm saying? So I be telling y'all a lot of the shit, man. The habits that you have is gonna be linked to your demise. How people got a caffeine addiction. People got addiction to marijuana and shit, man. I'm telling y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, man, pick y'all addictions wisely. You know. But one thing you don't want to be addicted to is wasting your time. Make it as productive as possible. Even when you sleep, make it the most productive sleep time you can have. But you know, it is what it is, man. Let's talk about the MMA fighters. A lot of these motherfuckers run around. Uh, they talking big shit. They talking big shit. You know, they out here saying, you know, they out here saying boxing is corrupt and shit. Israel Adesanya say the boxing as a business is corrupt. Israel Adesanya answers whether he is following Francis Ngannou's into pro boxing. Now we can make a case and say, well, y'all the same ninjas that's complaining about, you know, UFC being corrupt because y'all money ain't right. All sports is corrupt. Tim Donaghy just did an interview with DJ Snitch TV, and what he just say? What he just say? What he say? He said we was told by the NBA to make sure Kobe scored the basketball and got to the foul line as much as possible. That ain't nothing new to us. We know it's fixed. They talking about, well, you know, we wanted to make the NBA. I'm gonna do a video on it tomorrow. It should be coming up. We want to make the NBA more entertaining. We don't want to see a free throw shooting contest for Jesus. How is that entertaining? No matter if it's 200 to 200. Nobody want to see a free throw shooting contest. He said, boxing as a sport is beautiful. Boxing as a business is corrupt as F. I've done my time in boxing as a rookie to the game. It felt easy for me. It was fun, but I'll never box again. I prefer to use all my weapons in a real fight. Now, at the end of the day, okay. One, these are the same people that's complaining about money, right? So he got a point about the boxing being corrupt, but so is UFC. Dana White own your name. Dana White own y'all. If y'all want to go box or go do something else, Dana White control that, right? And you can box and make what 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times more money than you make in the UFC, and you ain't got to worry about taking elbows and kicks. So if boxing was easy, or you can easily cross over, and let's say he can fight an Andre Ward for 10 million a piece or something like that. He come out of retirement. You wouldn't do it, like I said before. If Israel Adesanya and Anderson Silva were good boxers, they would have crossed over, and would have crossed over a long time ago rather than fucking with Dana White. Let's call it a spade. Was you gonna play in the XFL or you gonna play in the NFL? Keep it real. So when they go around talking about, oh man, it's easy for me and this, that, and the third, show prove it. Prove it. It ain't. And a lot of people believe, a lot of guys that do MMA, and this ain't no shade or hate to them, they do MMA because they couldn't hack it in basketball. They couldn't hack it in boxing. You know? And you know, it wasn't much being said when Jake Paul was running through their roster. Like he was like they was the number 5 cheerleader on running through the basketball team in the boys' locker room. Wasn't nobody saying nothing. When Jake Paul was running through their roster, wasn't nobody saying nothing. Wasn't nobody saying nothing. When Jake Paul was going through that roster, knocking all them ninjas off, they ain't had nothing to say. They ain't had nothing to say. So Ngannou had one performance, which a lot of people thought he won, and we know why he didn't, because it messed up the business and undisputed for the Saudis. And that's fine. That's fine and dandy. Let's not act like, you know, that one victory mean like Adesanya can cross over and do something. Usman can get in the boxing ring and do something. Conor McGregor can do something. We seen Mayweather carry Conor McGregor. Jake Paul wasn't carrying them motherfuckers. Jake Paul was getting them motherfuckers clean up out of there. Jake Paul was dropping them, beating their ass. And then this is a Disney movie star. So they can beat their chest all they want to. We know what happened to the majority of them come to mixed martial arts, and Nate Diaz was one of the best boxers in mixed martial arts. We know if most of them cross over to boxing, we know what's gonna happen. We know if most boxers cross over to MMA, what's gonna happen. Now, was it like Ray Mercer or somebody went to in the cage and got a victory? So a boxer has already got a victory in the cage. Let's just keep it real. But he said Al Haymon screwed up. I read that. He said a rematch is not happening, in my opinion. He said Errol Spence will get put in a body bag, Alejandro Cruz said, by Benavidez playing the Canelo. He said that brother is not starving. Chief Red Cloud, yeah, Errol Spence, yeah, he ain't starving. He said you can't play with boxing, bro. Stay hungry at all times. Ernest Johnson salute. He said facts. He said TC deserves a better rival than Spence. Tumba, what's going on? Renardo, what's going on? Lathers, what's going on? One Honor, what's going on? RNS1 says that it's Showtime putting Canelo next 2 fights with PBC on. Yes, they contractually obligated. Laugh all out the XFL or NFL. No disrespect. Well, yeah, these UFC dudes getting brave now, beating their chest, and now they coming out of hiding. But when Jake Paul was drilling their ass like a stripper from the club, they ain't had nothing to say. Nothing to say. And it's not like boxing ain't policing itself. Carl Froch came out and kept it a bean. Shakir Stevenson, I think, came out and said, well, Fury had an off night. Sean Porter was on Pro Boxing TV, and what'd he say? He said, this kind of was, well, no, somebody else said it was a black eye for boxing. Sean Porter said it was a good thing. I mean, at the end of the day, boxing been taking L's, all year. Every big fight they had this year, it didn't do shit. It failed to live up to expectation. Caleb Plant and Baby Benavidez. It didn't live up to expectations. It was a whole fest. Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. It was no resistance from Ryan Garcia. Crawford and Spence. It was no resistance from, it was no resistance. Canelo and Jamil Charlo. Dude, every major. This was the best pay-per-view boxing event this year. It was Ngannou and Tyson Fury crossover. All the other events, they failed in comparison, bro. The ones I can think of. You got better value from Better BF taking on Anthony Yard. All right. These ninjas let the Blazers come all the way back. The bum-ass Blazers. You got better value from Oshaki Foster taking on Rocky Hernandez. You got better value from that shit. The UFC, they've been putting on solid shows and all that type of stuff. But like I said before, Bud and Errol was way better than what? Shout out to D Young, salute. Bud and Errol was way better than what? Way better than what? Because Bud and Errol wasn't better than Ngannou and Tyson Fury. You smoking crack. That was a one-sided ass whooping. How is that better than a competitive exhibition? That kind of sounded funny, but it's being real. Come on. Come on. It was not better than the Ngannou fight. No, it was not. How was a fight that a guy wasn't competitive better than a Ngannou fight? The dude wasn't even competitive. How? How can you say that? It wasn't even better than the Hector Luis Garcia and Tank Davis fight, bro. Errol Spence could have came in there handcuffed with his both hands behind his back and put a better performance up. No cap. No cap. Shit was entertaining as hell. A lot of dollars. Man, dude, that shit wasn't entertaining. It was somebody it was a one-sided ass whooping. That's all it was. It wasn't competitive. It was, you knew after the first round who was going to win and who was going to lose. Let's keep it a bean. At the end of the Ngannou and Fury fight, you ain't know who was going to win. It was that competitive, bro. if you being real, Spencer Crawford was the most when I gotta get that to Jamel Charlo. Jamel Charlo and Canelo was the most disappointing. I got to say that. That was the most disappointing. That fight didn't live up to expectations. And put it to you this way. I bet people will buy an Ngannou Fury rematch before they buy an Errol Spence Terrence Crawford rematch. I guarantee you that shit. I guaranteed it. My guarantee Wallace. I guaranteed it. Guaranteed it. More people is gonna pay for an Ngannou Fury rematch than Spencer Crawford. And any of you lying ninjas in here gonna say call Cat, gonna say that's Cat. You lying. You lying. You lying. Ain't no way. But hey, believe what y'all want to believe. Stay 10 toes down with the box a lie because that's what it is. That's a damn lie. Oh, they fooling on the Pistons right now. This is legendary day. People thought, hey, dog, we talking about the fight. I don't give a fuck what the weather was. I don't care what them niggas wore to the ring. I don't care what their ring walk was. We talking about the fight inside the square circle. Don't sit here and say, oh, yeah, the fireworks to the fight was nice. I heard they had pigs in the blanket after the fight. I don't care about that. Any close and competitive fight, they got something entertaining to it. It's better than that fight. That's like you said. Well, I think Spencer Crawford was better than Better BF Yard. It wasn't. It wasn't better than no Shockey Foster and Rocky Hernandez. You could say it was a bigger event. It had more notoriety. It had more spotlight on it. I agree with that. But when you put the fight in the vacuum, it wasn't. It was mid. It was mid. But nonetheless, let's move over to y'all, brother Al Haymon from Cleveland, Ohio. It's the Thuggish Ruggish Run. It's the Thuggish Ruggish Run. Look at this shit. Now they got Eddie Hearn. What do Google be doing? Look at what Google be doing. Come on, man. When Al Haymon turned into a pilgrim, which, if he was white, he would be one. Let's call a spade a spade. Remember y'all thought this was Al Haymon? Remember y'all thought that was Al Haymon? But, but yeah, man, Rick Laser been making a point that no network want to put money up for PBC Al Haymon. They're willing to give her this distribution deal. And what that means is they're going to provide production. And a lot of times, Marcos Villegas reported this about Fox. He said Al Haymon was putting the money up for the fights on Fox. I don't know if it was just the pay-per-views, but he was putting up money for the fights on the pay-per-views, and he was paying Fox for the production. So it got to the point where Al Haymon just had a distribution deal with Fox, and Fox stopped putting money up. So Al was paying for the fight cards out of his pocket and paying, Fox for production, TV, camera work, commentators and shit. And that's the only deal he got on the table now. Nobody wants to give him any guaranteed money for his fights because he misused the funds. It's as simple as that. Espinoza helped finesse some money out of Showtime. It was rumors that they, allegedly they was getting double money from Showtime, and they was misusing funds and all that shit. And I don't know how true that was, but at the end of the day, man, there's something to look at. So people seeing that what he did to NBC, what he did to the Viacom family and networks, what he did with Fox. I mean, come on, you do a Viacom, that's CBS Sports, that's CBS. That's MTV, VH1, BET, Cartoon. Nickelodeon, the Paramount app. He fucked over a lot of people. One second. He messed over a lot of networks. Don't forget, he messed over ESPN too. He messed over a lot of people, dude. So at the end of the day, a lot of these dudes, A lot of the networks, they talk. A lot of these networks, a lot of these guys jump networks and they know what he do. Now you hear another side of the story, and this on the zone side of the things. On the zone side of things, they want to control matchmaking before they put money up. So he refusing to allow the zone to have matchmaking control over his fighters. And it sounds like they willing to put the money up. But he don't get to control the matchmaking. Where Amazon say, hey, you can put what you want to put up because you're gonna eat what you kill. That's what it is. Meaning you're gonna eat what you kill. So it's on your dime. So if you're gonna waste some money, it's gonna be on your dime. You're gonna pay us to produce this. You're gonna pay us to produce this. So I mean, it is what it is. And I think that's the way to go. Now y'all can say, well, if he's gonna play for production, he might as well start his own TV channel. And at the end of the day, that costs money. It costs money for everything for a TV channel. Why not just break them off 10%? They got the camera work, they got the cameraman, they got the camera crews, they got the trucks outside. They got the pretty lady to talk. You know what I'm saying? They already got the camera, all that shit. The lighting. It's a lot of money going to that. And then starting a TV channel or an app, you got to have programming. Is people going to pay pay-per-view? I mean, he could just go to Fight TV if it's about production. But then you're going to pay Fight TV for production. And is Fight TV going to market like Amazon market? Is it going to market like Showtime market? That means you got to get out there, pay Fight TV to produce, and then you got to market people to get them to come to the Fight TV app. How many people know what the fuck the Fight TV app is? And basically what you said is pay, your fights are pay-per-view at that point. So it's a lot they go into that. And then do you link pay-per-view.com in there to get them another option to buy and do Fight TV? It's a lot they go into that. And then you start a TV channel, then you need cameras, you need programming. Or you start an app, so we just gonna watch the app just for your fight library and just for the fights. So you're gonna buy the app just to pay for fights. So what's the monthly subscription on the app just to watch regular boxing? How much regular boxing gonna be on there? Is it gonna be a boxing TV show? Are we gonna have access to your fight library? Come on, who gonna be doing the commentary? What's the camera work gonna be like? Then you gotta run tests on the app. Is the app gonna have glitches? What happens if we pay our $90 to watch a pay-per-view and it glitch and we don't, do we get our money back or whatever like that? So it's a lot that you just can't fuck around and say, oh, I'm gonna start a channel or start an app. It ain't that simple. It's a lot of resources, time, testing that go into that. If that's the case, he should just start the app from the beginning. He don't want to spend his own money. He like abroad. And that's why some dudes get with boss bitches, dude, because they'll take the competition side of it. Cause she got the mindset, oh, I got my money, you got your money. All right, cool. Most guys will take that shit. Cool. Better than fucking with a broke bitch. A broke bitch still gonna be in need. And she's still gonna be stubborn like you trying to break a wild Pokemon in. She's still gonna be stubborn. You still gonna deal with stubbornness. There's a lot of ninjas intimidated, I would guess. But that's what Al Haymon is like. That's what I mean, he want to spend somebody and waste somebody else's money. And then you got to ask yourself, is the investors fucking with Al Haymon? That's the question. And then, the third thing you want to think about too, does he got the does he have the what's the word I'm looking for? Can he swallow his pride and say, what, if I got to sell these fighters and these contracts off, or I gotta sell this PBC shit off to the people that bought the WWE and shit. You know, can he swallow his pride and do that? I mean, I don't see why not. He ain't never came out and said a word. You know what I'm saying? He's never come out and said a word. Never. So what harm would it be for him to come out and say, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, or come out and just sell his fighters or sell his company? You know, it's different from when you coming up in business and you not established, you failing. And that's where a lot of people fail at. You know what I'm saying? You know, after they fail a few thousand times or a couple times, they don't want to you know, they want to quit. But you got to keep trying. But, you know, it ain't like he talked to the public where that it'd be an embarrassment. If he waved the white flag, he waved the white flag. You know, people talk shit about him and it's over with Al Haymon and we glad fuck Al Haymon. Wah. He cool. But he ain't never gave a conversation. He ain't never gave an interview. You know? So I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world. You know? So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But like I said before, when people, you know, bring up things like, well, you know, he should start his own TV channel, his own app. It ain't that simple. It ain't that simple. It's a lot that go into that. And then one thing, kind of rewinding back to the Spencer Crawford thing for a minute, part of his mind probably say, I should have did something with Top Rank when I did the Spencer Crawford fight. That way we have a network for the rematch to go on, and I would have split the guarantee. Bob would have just had to pay Terrence, and I would have had to pay Errol his guarantee. See, you know, when a ninja's selfish and shit like that, bro, when you greedy and all you see is money, and I can keep the pot to myself, that very same profit that he made off the Tank and the Errol fights and all that, that money got to go right back to the fighters. The very same money that he allegedly got down on got to go back to the fighters, or he got to wave the white flag, sell his fighters off like they slaves. How about the man will whip like I'm a slave master, like my future voice. The very same fight, in the very same, I mean, it all comes full circle. What goes around comes around like a hula hoop, 2 Chainz. You know what I'm saying? So the very same fighters that he took money, that he was finessing money out of people, and allegedly a lot of them people looking to sue him. So now that money got to go right back to the fighters, or he can just hold that money, sell his fighters off, and go and ride off in the sunset or go back into the music business. But you know, like I continue to say, bro, he got a female's mentality. But I mean, I wouldn't even say a female's mentality. That's an investor's mentality. That's somebody who want to get rich, and that's one thing that you learn about people that are successful and investing money. And one thing you gotta unlearn is I could do it on my own mentality. And one thing, especially the dude that wrote the Good Rich Dad Poor Dad book, one thing that he pointed out was that you're lazy if you're using your own money. You're lazy. Find a way to use somebody else's money to invest and get rich. And you see that, you know, in real estate. There's ways that you can start your real estate portfolio and you don't need no money to start. You using other people's money to use leverage to start your portfolio. You just pay it back and then you good. I mean, it's a dark side to it too, where, you know, you can just, you know, get into programs where you know, make people sell off their foreclosed homes for pennies on the dollar and get rich off that shit. So it's a lot of stuff that they tell us that we have to unlearn in our mind. Like borrowing money is good. I was watching Anton Daniels' channel. He did a video based on people in Southern California, why a lot of these rich people chose to rent over choosing to buy. But they tell you, oh, you should buy a house, and it's smarter to buy a house. Right now, you know, they're marking up houses that ain't even brick houses. These houses ain't worth, you know, half of what they worth. You could build up equity in a lot of these houses, But is you gonna turn a hard profit even if you choose to sell a house? And most people won't. So a lot of times, it's smarter to rent for a lot of wealthy people, and it don't come with the responsibility of buying. It don't come with that responsibility. So, but just some of the things that we have to unlearn. He said, I would say Canelo versus Charlo was disappointing because at least Spence tried and went out on the shield. Support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313. Shout out the link tree to find us everywhere. Check out my other channel, Free Game 89. I speak on that over there. He said, Al better have a stash box. Of course he do. Them companies that he worked for, like Fox, Showtime, and all that shit, dude. A lot of them companies, they give him a charge card. Rich people don't spend their money for real. Smart rich people do. The companies he work with, he got an Amex, he got a some type of credit card or whatever. He got a charge card. For real. Those rich people get a whole bunch of free shit. Look at Bronny James and shit. Look at Bronny James. He got the highest He got the highest NIL deal. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Ain't that what they say? The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And that's the truth. Al Haymon was street smart. Al Haymon got street smart, book smart. He reminds me of Clay Davis, the dude born. I think that was his mentor. No, that's the other dude. I forget his name. Vinny, what's going on, bro? But for the most part, he got to put his own money up. So either you sell these dudes off like slaves. And that's what they is when you look at those contracts. Or, you take a distribution deal, you put your own money up and do it that way. At least the distribution deal, it should come with Amazon doing some good marketing. Fun fact, Amazon is expected to lose like $174 million on NFL Sunday Ticket year one. I think it's $174 negative they is off Sunday Ticket. So they sat there and they raised the price on Sunday. They raised the price on Sunday Ticket. DirecTV, they wanted to get away from them. Apple and Google was fighting over it, which is YouTube, by the way. And and they overpaid for it, and now they're $174 million in the hole. They expect to do that. For me personally, I got YouTube TV, and it's cool. I love it. But the thing about the Sunday Ticket, bro, I had it through DirecTV when I wasn't even watching that shit. The red zone is a great experience. It's a great experience. But with Al, we'll see what he gonna do. I mean, if February come around and we don't hear nothing, because Rick Laser say he definitely gonna find to get a deal. It just ain't gonna have no guaranteed money to the deal. So he said he definitely gonna get a deal, and I believe so. But it ain't gonna have no guaranteed money to it. And at that point, if he putting his own money up, is he still gonna play with the church's money and play and put these bullshit fights on? That's the question. If he say I'm putting the money up, I mean, you can't restructure these guys' contracts, can you? If my guarantee is $3 million, you got to meet that. So does he say, you know what? It go from you guys fighting once a year to once every 2 years? That's a great question. Does it go to that? Does he say, you know what? If I'm gonna pay this amount of money, all this shit going on pay-per-view? Is Amazon even offering a regular championship fight, type of series, or is it all on pay-per-view? I mean, hey, it's a great question. He said, he ain't you entertaining as hell, bro. He got Al Haymon mugshot on there. Well, I don't know if that's a mugshot. I don't do mugshots. Nah, I think a mugshot would have his height in the back. That's just one of them work motherfucking photos. You gotta take a work photo. I don't really do mugshots. And not for black people. So I don't think that's a mugshot. I try not to, and I stopped talking on deaths on here too. So when people die, I don't even touch on that shit. But rest in peace to Bobby Knight and shit. He passed, the old Indiana coach and shit. But nonetheless, you got a lot of decisions to make, and I think they rambling through those decisions. They rambling through those decisions right now. And he run the shit. He run it like a nigga business. Keep telling y'all that. He run it like a nigga business. And I hate to say that, bro. Some stereotypes be true. And a lot of people don't want to admit it. They want to claim racism and all that shit. Some stereotypes be true as hell. I heard Al like 6'4". I don't know if he's 6'4". Eddie Hearn like 6'5". I don't know if he's 6'4" or no shit. Like, yeah, he don't look too much taller than Floyd right here. And then, when he got a system in which he can pay y'all and he can pay y'all in installments and shit, like you a Carolina motherfucking you a Carolina product or afterpay product. I mean, it's a hustle. Like you 5,000 every day or every week or some shit like that. Like you you need an allowance, like you a little $2 hole on the strip and shit. Come here, Tiffany. Here go your 500 for the week for hitting that strip, bitch. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. But hey, it's a lot of these people can't they let them get them in the room, finesse them, use some big words, make it sound good, and then once they got you signed, they chew you up and spit you out. What's so funny is you hear women say, dudes do everything to get you. When they get you, then they stop doing what they used to do. I mean, what's the funny shit about it is women project so much. In most of my experiences, it's the opposite. The woman stopped doing what she's supposed to do to get the dude, and the dude just follow suit. That's the crazy shit. Women do a bunch of projection, dude. They do a ton of it. If a woman just accuse you of cheating out the blue and there ain't no validity to it, like, bro, she cheating, bro. She got a guilty conscience. Especially, especially if everything going smooth and shit. If you ain't got no reasonable cause, you come home every day. And I gotta tell ninjas like that, man. It's a lot of y'all dudes that come home. Y'all got any questions, I'll answer them. You got a lot of these dudes that come home and they do their job every day and they catch hell. You got dudes that come home, hit the titty bar, hit the bar, drink, knock some hoes down, come home, and they catch the same hell as the dude that's trying to do the right thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. But the difference is the dude that do the 9 to 5, a lot of times he ain't getting no ass at the crib. The dude that just got the ass from the bitch in the bathroom at the bar, he come home and get the ass. Women like toxic shit, bro. I hate to break that shit to y'all, bro, but it's just the God honest truth. And now you got a lot of soft girl Errol ninjas who was raised by these women who never unlearn the traits and never going because you never can unlearn nothing. If you a man and you a man, you in your 30s, late 20s, and you still going to the church and all that, and the church you go to is flawed. And like I said, there's some good churches out there too. Don't get me wrong. And the sign of a good church is a church that's always giving back to the community and doing things to the community. That's a great way to spot a good church. I don't mind giving money to a church that's always giving back to the community and doing things for them. I don't mind giving to no organization that do that. So let me say that not all church is bad, but the church full of shit and shit like that, and you still supporting it. That just lets you know some dudes just can't unlearn it. Like I said, I had in the dorm, I had a next door roommate and shit, bro. And he was saying that it's hard for him to like unlearn the things that his mother taught him about women and shit. And his mother taught him to respect. When he was a church going ninja, this ninja got up every Sunday. Well, he played the drums at the church and shit. He went to church and shit. I ain't gonna say his name, but he was saying like it was impossible for him to disrespect women. Even though the dudes that was getting the chicks in school was the ones that was treating the women like shit. He was, I just can't do it. He was just a nice guy. Some dudes, they go through an experience where a woman played them and they turn into a beast. Some dudes cry and soak over it and they hit the reset button. They try to just be good. But a lot of times, a lot of players are made from bad experience with women. It's just the truth. So PBC contracts, pop fighters in life contracts. Why won't they jump ship? Don't nobody know. They must be in some type of bonding contract where they can't jump ship. Who would you sign if you were a budding prospect? Oh man, probably Jerron Ennis. To be honest, probably Ennis. I'll probably sign Ennis if he considered a prospect. But if not, shit, who a prospect out here? It's by the definition of it. Oh man, that's shit. I like I don't even know no prospects right now. But out of the young guys, I say Jerron Ennis. He had a prominent weight class. Virgil Ortiz coming back too. If y'all ain't seen my video and shit. But yeah, Al would be straight. But like I tell y'all, dudes, man, out here, be safe and be dangerous out here, man. And if you got a woman that like the respect that you dishing out, hey, cool. But a lot of women, they a lot of these women today that y'all deal with, they like toxic shit, man. That's why a lot of y'all be going after these young women. I see why, but a lot of them want to put their hands on you. A lot of them unstable. A lot of them already ran through. That's what we be crazy where you got these older content creators telling y'all that a lot of these younger women are better because you can mold them. Many bitches got more mileage on them than the women in their 30s, bro. That's a fucking fact. They already a hard used vehicle, bro. In high school, I know this girl went to high school with, man, dude, the whole football team ran this chick, bro. No cap. She went to the military or got a military husband and moved to the other side of the country and shit and reset her life and shit. I mean, it is what it is. You just never know. You can have a real nice girl, and I know a real nice girl I went to college with, and she was a slut bucket. You will never know. He said if Al did not pay his fighters once a week or just paid them all at once, I'm from the Natty, AB would run through his money. Hey man, that's his responsibility, bro. He ran through his money anyway. Getting paid once a day, once a week, getting paid at once. Everybody else traditionally got paid at once. Think about that for a minute. The shit gone regardless. However you slice it, it's gone. He said, flexing how good woman hard to find, lost a good woman chasing hoes. Man, yeah, y'all be chasing hoes. A lot of these hoes be dirty. Be telling y'all, bro. A lot of y'all be chasing hoes, and I'll be wanting to protect. I mean, sometimes you can't feel sorry for a lot of y'all dudes. Y'all be looking for pity. Y'all be crying in these niggas' chats and going on these niggas' shows, getting coaching calls because child support tearing y'all out the frame, calling these women baby mama terrorists. But like I said before, man, we getting your side of the story. What she got to say? You cheated on her while she was going through postpartum. You cheated on her while she was pregnant. Like, bro, come on. A lot of y'all ain't got no discipline. Them hoes don't bring shit to the table. All these hoes today bringing is STIs and stress and anarchy and shit like that. Straight up and down. And I always know to y'all, it's like, oh man, I'm stuck at home, being a good husband, going on date nights, taking the kids to amusement park and the shit getting boring. I wonder what's out there. Man, ain't shit out there. That's why I say, man, a lot of told my stepdaughter this. I say, man, go have your fun now. Don't sit there and have no kids. Go enjoy your life. Go have fun, right? She quit her job. She said, oh, it was too much to do job in school. I said, times that times 10, and imagine having a kid and going and having a job. She just looked at me like, yeah, times that times 10. Go enjoy your life, bro. You know, for a guy, it's okay to have your kids in your mid-30s. You a man, you can have kids whenever. Go enjoy your life. Go build up your financial portfolio. Go have your fun out here, whatever. But you know, this one dude, I got a video. I did a short on Free Game 89, but I'm gonna do a video at some point. This dude made a great point. I was commenting on Anton Dame's channel. I end on this after I read this last question, and he made a great point. We was talking about a guy had made a comment about saying that I think something about I forget what he said. His comment was something, and I was like, you know, you got to have respect. My thing is I need to have respect from a woman. And the dude came and made a very interesting comment on the thread and shit, right? And what he said in the comment section, what he said was very interesting, and he made a great point. And he says that he finds out he's been married 22 years, and he finds out that a lot of players, that guys that ran through women in their 20s and stuff of that nature. He says that I'll read it verbatim. And he says a lot of those men that he find out have a difficult time finding good women, right? And I'm gonna read his comment, but I'm gonna elaborate on it a little bit more before I get out of here. Y'all got any other questions? I answer them. So he says, as you shouldn't. And I was talking about I can't tolerate a disrespectful woman. He said, I've been married with my wife. I've been with my wife for 22 years, and my wife is very respectful towards me. He said, even when I was unemployed during COVID, I know quite a few dudes with the long-standing marriages where their wife respects them. I don't know why people have such a hard time finding a good wife. I think a lot of dudes spend their 20s being a man whore, and then at 30, all of a sudden now they feel like they deserve a good woman. Women do the same thing and expect to find a good man. So he played both sides of the pendulum. He said, I'll be honest with you, I've never met a player that had a good, solid woman by his side. All these ninjas do is complain about how women ain't ish while they ain't ish themselves. Building a relationship takes time. I dated my wife for almost a decade before we got married. So a lot of women say, well, you know, it's 2-3 years no me met, but I'm not here to talk about that. And I'm here to elaborate on his point. I want to elaborate on this point about players not being that fine white. Now, somebody in the comments said, well, players always have women. They always have women to pick from, but it's not. The thing about this is this, man. When, you know, you a player, shit like this, the dark side about it is if you see the dark side of women, you messing with a woman and she while you hitting it, or she playing with your shit and whatever, she on the phone with her baby daddy. You know, I had a homie that told me that, you know, he started looking at women funny is when his uncle was dying in the back room and shit, and his girlfriend was cheating with another dude in the next room. So he started looking at women different. You know, I've seen situations where, homie was like, yeah, I was hitting woo, 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 and I'm hitting it, and I'm trying to make her say something. And she just talking regular on her phone with her baby daddy and her man, and she's sitting here doing this, and I just can't trust women. So once you start seeing a lot of women tendencies and how they actually act, and a lot of dudes, you know, a lot of dudes who got sisters or a lot of females in their family, and they see how they act. Like, how know how Rob Kardashian could be a simp, and his sisters wrote his mother wrote the playbook. So a lot of dudes, they got sisters and a lot of women they around. They know female nature, bro. They know this. They ain't got to be players to figure this out. So when you a player, you see how women really act and shit, and how you can take a woman from another dude like that. How can you have peace and solace? How can you trust a woman? Because all you doing is doing what professional dating women do. And what professional dating women are women who just love the dating experience of a relationship. They love the beginning of the relationship. They love to get courted. They love to go out eat. They love the beginning of the relationship. They love a little casual sex in the beginning, and then they just jump to another person and date again. Same thing, you know, with players and stuff, whatever that nature. I mean, um, you know, they can't get too far with women because they know they seen too much bad female nature. So even, with women that professionally date, they always look for red flags to get to the next date. Right? They always looking for red flags. Right? And with players, they always look for red flags in women because they didn't play. So you gotta remember, what a player not dealing with single women most of the time. The majority of women that players really deal with, or some of them are women that's in a relationship. So if I feel like I could take your chick from you and use her and send her back to you, you won't even know. You hear about these stories, dog, you wouldn't even know. You're like, yeah, I just, I had this chick, whatever. Guys talk about, she left my house half naked, and then the next day she posting about how she loved her husband and posting pictures of them on Facebook and shit. And like I said before, the ninja that's hitting your wife, if you ain't paying attention and you living fast or you grinding or hitting your girl, you would never know. It's women that got side ninjas that have been side ninjas for 20 years. Y'all been together for 5 years and you would know nothing about them. I told you I had a homie that older homie and shit, dude. He ended up like, he used to do like he'd be on some fly shit. And somebody tried to rob him at one of his cribs and shit. So he carried around 2 guns everywhere he went and shit. Real solid old head, bro. About 10, 12 years ago, bro. He was telling me the story, whatever, right? So he said basically, it was a black lady and the black husband. Their son was graduating and they were doing the open house. So she invited him to the open house, right? He was hitting the wife or whatever, but the wife would basically tell him they was about to go through the divorce. And I'm not sure the son knew they was going through the divorce yet. They about to send him off to college. So he ended up going to the open house and shit. And you already know women can't hold water. So the wife already telling her friends that, oh, that's him. He came. He said I came because nobody know. It was just random people at the open house. And the wife telling the sisterhood that's who she messing with and that's who she about the monkey branch with and with all that type of shit. And then he was saying that the sisterhood was trying to get on the shit. So, like I said before, man, it's a dirty game, man. It's just a real dirty game. So when you a player, you deal with women, you only got to do it be a player. Once you deal with women and female nature, it's hard for you to trust them. And this is why they try to kind of get you hooked and try to love you and rub you down and caress you and give you a lot of like, okay, put it to you this way. And I'm gonna read the super chat in a minute, right? I'm gonna tell you this way, bro. It's a female. I don't know the lady name. I just see people talk about her, and she teach women how to trap dudes. Right? Like if you hiding something, she teaches you how to trap the dude. Right? Like she teaches you how like okay. Basically, this is what it was. Right? It's women that hide their kids. Like they don't tell dudes that they got kids and shit. They hide their kids from dudes. So she would tell women how to get dudes to fall in love with you, get dudes to commit to you, then spring your kids on them. And it don't have to be kids. It could be it could be anything. I mean, the kids was the example they use. It could be while I live at home in the basement, or uh it's situations where I got a health defect or some shit like that. And then they get you get so comfortable and she serve you and she acts so good, and people do this to marry you too. A lot of ninjas that love to get married quick. A woman can act right for 2 years, do everything you want to do, give you sex on demand, cook, clean, but as soon as you marry her, she stop all that shit. Women do that, especially when they hot. They when you get to know them. We talk about disingenuous dudes, how women don't like good dudes or nice guys because they come off as disingenuous. And check out my other channel, Free Game 89, FR33 Game 89. It's in the link tree in the description on YouTube and stuff. And how, I told y'all why Michael was telling me this shit and whatever, why women don't like good guys. And it made sense because, good guys come off as disingenuous. Pookies and Ray Rays come off in their truth. So they tell you every guy wants the same thing: a Pookie, a Ray Ray, a business guy, a 9-to-5 guy, aka a blue collar guy, a nice guy. They all want to hit it, right? One thing about the Pookies and the Ray Rays, they straightforward with it. It's they live in their truth. They tell a woman straight up, I want to woo. This is what I want to do. Nice guys kind of come in and beat around the bush and then try to finesse. They'll come over and I cook for you, and you know what it is. At some point you got to be somewhere in the middle with all that stuff. But my boy Angel Santos say actual factual say somebody like CJ salute, bro. Yeah, Al Haymon better off trying to get Google, YouTube TV or premium, maybe strike a deal. Subs, analysts, algorithms already built in. Just my 2 cents. Yeah, he ain't YouTube TV ain't mess with Al Haymon, bro. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I don't think so, bro. Wherever he go, he gonna have to put the money up for the distribution. But shout out to my boy Angel, bro. But yeah, man. But that's true shit. They call, I forget what they call it. You know, they trap you. They make you feel comfortable, and then they spring something on you. They spring some kid. Oh, I got 3 kids, or I got a kid. Or oh, I got this going on, or this, that, and that going on, or I got a husband, or. And then niggas be like, oh, I done invest all this time already. No ninjas want to lose time. It ain't even about the money. You can lose the money and say, fuck it. A lot of these dudes invest their time with a woman. They get to know them. They get to playing with your ego. They get to finessing you, massaging you, your ego. You feel comfortable. You like, I don't feel like getting out there finding another bitch. She perfect. That's how they do you. That's how they do you, bro. That's a real thing. When you meet a woman, she could be as disingenuous as they believe some guys are. And that's crazy. Y'all be thinking, oh man, women not as strong as the majority of men, but they strong in other areas. This woman was telling women how to do that shit on the internet, and women do it. It's happened to me before. I ain't gonna lie. Like, damn, this shit too right. If it feel too right and it feel too good, pause. It is too good. If she too perfect, it's too good. Bitch gotta have some flaws or something. But like I continue to say, bro, it's just about players and shit. They see the dark side of women that most guys don't see. Most guys don't want to see that side, bro. And that's the difference between men and women. Women got to know. The investigators, they got to know. And this is why I don't promote lying to women. If you're not looking for a serious relationship, tell them that. Just like I want something casual. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for a serious relationship, well, you wait for her to make that commitment. Don't you make that commitment. Don't be an idiot. We all made that commitment. Once you tell the chick you love her outside the bedroom, it's over with. It's unless you trying to like, find something else out, but like I said before, I was you, dude, and I made that mistake before. If I was y'all, if you want a serious commitment for a woman, I wait for her to ask you to be with her. That'd just be my opinion. I wait for her to ask you to go out with her. If not, just keep casually doing what you're doing. Because there's a reason behind that. Because a woman gonna always tell you what she wants. And if she don't ever make that commitment, then y'all just a situationship. And if you can't deal with that, then hey, I would just say, cut it off. You don't owe her no explanation because y'all wasn't in no relationship. Be trying to school y'all a little bit, bro, from experiences when I be hearing around. But that's real shit though, bro. They'll trap you like that, bro. And like I said about being a player, bro, you see the dark side of it. Most guys don't want to see that side of it. They don't want to know. I don't want to know if you're playing me. Keep it up. That, I would say that's about 80, 75, 80, 85% of dudes. They don't want to know. And then when they smack them in their face and they do know, it's too late. Now you invested time, you invested money, you invested emotions. Now you want to choke now you want to get mad at her, but you ain't want to know. And all that stuff about women cheat better, that's cap. Men just play their role better as side ninjas. Like what type of side ninja, before I wrap it up, bro, unless y'all got more questions, what type of side ninja be like, oh man, I want to be the main ninja? Nobody. That's why a side ninja could be a side ninja for forever. Forever. Nobody be like, oh, I don't want to be the side ninja. No, said no man. That said no sane man ever in the life. I get all the benefits of the sex. You know what I'm saying? I had chicks bringing me food before, all types of shit. Rub me down. And 9 times out of 10, they may spend the night like 1 or 2 times out the month. Like, then they gotta get the fuck on too. Oh, come on, that's paradise. Unless you looking to build a family at some point, that's fine and dandy. But being on player shit, it show you the dark side of women, bro. It show you the dark side. So it's hard for them to find a good woman because they see female nature and see how dirty, and they already scorn. And it's kind of like a woman that just keep running into bad guys. And now she looking for red flags. This is what it is. But the woman and the men that these women and men and women need, a lot of people just don't want to face the fact they don't want them. They don't want them. And a lot of times it's not physical attraction, bro. Because you see some of these ninjas, baby mamas and baby daddies and shit. Like a lot of people just attracted to what they're attracted to, and that's just crazy shit. And I had to get out of that mindset too, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just, some people just, I remember I had two girls I was picking for before, right? I had one girl, her people had money, another girl, whatever, long story short. And I went, who gave me the pussy first? No cap. It wasn't a smart decision. It wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a smart decision. You know, that was the icebreaker for me. I would say it wasn't a smart decision. You know what I'm saying? But I had to learn that I don't even want to be like, I don't even want to casually sleep with people that I don't have a connection with. Like we don't have if I'm with you and I don't have a good time, or we don't have good intellectual time together, bro, I don't even want to fuck you. I'll be real with you. I just don't. That's at the point I'm at, bro. Like we ain't cool, like we ain't kicking it cool, like we laughing and shit, or we had good conversation, or we got good logical conversation, or we just having good time. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good on that, bro. There's been a lot of women I've been with that I just like at the end of the day, like I just don't like you. It ain't like you a bad person, but it's like we don't have nothing in common. We don't connect, and like I like to go out and have a good time. Like we go out and have a good time, or we just sitting there having a good time, joking and connecting. That's the type of female I want to be with, bro. But she's sitting there still, and I had this chick. I told this story before, man. My homie had this chick, right? I'm gonna tell the full story real quick. So my homie had a fat chick come over, right? This is one of the few times in history this shit happens. I guarantee you. Yeah, this fat chick come over. He just trying to hit it, right? It is what it is. So they upstairs and shit, right? And she brought a friend, so I'm like, man, the friend about to be trash, right? So I took my Tylenol PM. I'm about to go to bed. Friend come over, fire, no cap, fire. Wait, like fire. Nigga was mad. He was mad as hell. So they upstairs, whatever. I don't know why he up. I don't know. He upstairs, whatever, right? So so I'm downstairs. So my mom husband walks in and shit, right? But my boy work with my mom husband and shit, right? So I think he came over to give him pay him or whatever, to pay him for the job. I don't know why the nigga was over. My mom wasn't there. So he must have had to pay him for the job and shit, right? So he seen the type of girl he with, whatever, seen the girl I was with, whatever. The shit was funny. He started laughing and shit, right? So I'm down there with old girl, right? Man, dude, she totally turned me off. So she started talking about these other niggas and shit, right? So I'm about to go for the kill or whatever. Then she get to talk about some other niggas and shit, whatever. And he get money, man. I swear to God, the way my basement was set up, I had a futon, I had a pull-out bed, and I had a bed in the back, right? I left that woman right there, and I went to go get in my bed and went to sleep. She tried to get in that bed. I said, I'm good, bro. Like she totally turned me off. So I've kind of always like been like that, bro. I've always kind of been like that. Like if we don't have nothing in common, it's just a turn off for me. It's a mad turn off. But he said you watched the 5150 show where the pastor asked the congregation with 21 bed. Hell yeah. Hey, Craig's story was funny as hell, bro. Where he basically said that the pastor had asked the congregation for $1,000, that he told the congregation to come up to everybody to come up with the money for our birthday party, and the month and the payment to get into the pastor's birthday party was $1,000. Dude, I remember my cousin had told me and shit that my grandma pastor was like a pimp and shit, and he seen him in the street like pimping hoes or shit like that, and that's how he found out that he was faking shit. It's crazy. He started an album at War with Myself too. He said Celtics, damn, they smoked the Pacers. Jesus Christ. He said PBC gonna be on Tubi. Damn Tubi. He said some of these females are real dirt devils. I mean, yeah, they get it from their mama. And some of the men turn them into dirt devils. They're the ones that some of these men turn women into lesbians too. Man, I just did a video on that today and tomorrow on my new channel, Good Free Game 89. Today, I think at 7:30 came up about why so many single mothers are lesbians or bisexuals. Just say bye to keep it safe. Jessica, salute. So a lot of women got snaked, and they try to turn into men because they see how men are, and the men they like, and the men they attract. They put that evil on the good guys and shit. I know a bunch of solid dudes, bro. I ain't gonna say I know a bunch of them. I know a bunch of dudes that try to do the same. But a lot of times, female gotta accept that a lot of these men are built for polygamy, dude. And the men that are willing to be monogamous, bro, it take a lot. Because as soon as you get in a relationship, you get serious with somebody, then everybody want to start throwing the pussy at you. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. So to have that discipline, and then what's so crazy about it is you will have a discipline, right? And then the relationship don't work. Then you be like, damn, all the pussy I passed up. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a relationship and the other person cheat and you wasn't cheating, dog. And you passed up a bunch of, and then you try to spin the block on all the girls you passed up, and then they ain't clucking no more. They didn't find a relationship. It's just mad depressing. Mad depressing, bro. Especially when you got one, especially when it's a girl that that's a way better upgrade than your girlfriend, and you pass it up. That's why a lot of dudes turn into monsters. They had bad relationships and they passed up on women that they physically thought was better than that girl. And then that girl did them dirty. Then they were like, damn, I should have be like that, bro. But like I said before, man, I think a lot of guys got to master dick discipline. Keep telling y'all that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all be trying to stick y'all dick in everything that's interested in you, man. Just because somebody apply for the application don't mean they get the job. A lot of y'all, oh, she fine as hell, but y'all ain't like really seeing how dirty she is. I ain't talking about physically neither. I mean, a lot of y'all see a fine ass woman and y'all pass up all the red flags. You know what I'm saying? She transferring money from her Cash App card to her bank card and shit or whatever. Like, she asked you for money, you knew her for a day. She asked you for money. Y'all niggas like, I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? She talking about bring our kids some chicken and fries and shit. Nigga, she just knew you for a week and shit. She already called you they step. Y'all ignore all this shit. And women do the same thing too. For a dude they physically attracted to and like, man, they have a man shit. That bitch packing a kilo in the lamb chop book, her son lamb chop book bag or Paw Patrol book bag and shit. Like I said before, you gotta differentiate what's good for you, what's not. And who better than you to know what's good and what's not good for you. So when you go out here and you looking for somebody, good girl, or looking for somebody that's significant other, I think the best thing is make you a list of what you're looking for and what you're not gonna tolerate. My main thing is this: we got to get along. We got to have some common interest. We gotta have interest in everything, but we gotta get along. We gotta, it's not a lot of funny women out here neither. If you find a woman that got good humor, you know what I'm saying, and that's funny, and y'all have a good time, y'all laughing, and y'all had good conversation, y'all like a lot of the same music, you know what I'm saying, and y'all just be on some y'all. She ain't too much of a hood rat. And y'all cool, like good. Y'all go out. She know how to act. She ain't period or nothing like that, bro. You good, bro. You good. You good. You good. You good. It's a canage. It's some fucked up niggas out here too, dog. Like I hear stories, man. I hear what the women be saying. And once you get both sides of the story, you be like, yo, sometimes you gotta side with the woman, bro. Sometimes I be happy to say, I get it, bro. I was pregnant and I remember this. I had this one chick. We just had just connected, whatever, right? We friends, whatever. It ain't nothing serious. Me and her cool or whatever, right? And I remember she was telling me one time and shit how, and maybe her baby daddy, nah, the story a little bit different. But she was telling me how she had a miscarriage and her baby daddy cheated on her after she had a miscarriage. They wasn't the baby daddy, baby mom. They was together. They've been together for a while time. And she was like, damn, they're coming to tears on how that shit, how that hurt her. You know what I'm saying? I hear other stories about how women talk about how, they was raped. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very I'm a very good listener and I don't judge people. So when women tell me about their past or what they've done or whatever like that, or they feel very comfortable telling me secrets and shit, right? Because I don't judge them. There's no point to. I done did some messed up stuff in my life. So women always felt pretty comfortable telling me stuff, right? And woman told me, she was like, she started crying, like, yeah, dude. And you kind of hear the stories that women say about certain men that they deal with, and I heard women saying that men trapped them in their house and wouldn't let them go home for a weekend. And they had to run out the house and shit. You hear these stories. I remember I had this chick, right? I'm talking to whatever, right? And she put her keys under my she put her keys in my car or whatever, right? She was like, "Don't leave and pull off with my keys." And we going to the mall. I'm like, what type of niggas you used to dealing with? But you hear some of these horror stories about women and how they deal, how they have horror stories with these men. And obviously we can say, well, it's your choice of men and whatever like that. But I kind of understand why a lot of women be lesbians or go quote unquote bisexuals or why they hate men. It's a lot of crazy dudes out here, bro. It's a lot of crazy dudes. I remember I'll tell you a story. My next door neighbor, mother, she was a single mother. She's a nice looking lady. One night we hear her crying. We live in apartments, whatever. She crying outside her door. And she said a guy that took her on a date stole her purse, stole her keys, stole all her belongings. So my mom had to help her figure the shit out all night. They had to figure it out. I forget what the solution was. My mom probably remember this shit 20 years ago. So when you see a lot of women that go around with a lot of hatred for men or they don't like men, a lot of women that go through that been through a lot of effed up situations, bro. How many times I've heard women, not listen on, I'm leave the internet alone. I've actually personally heard women say that my baby daddy cheated while I was pregnant and he's out clubbing while I was pregnant and I had postpartum syndrome. He was doing his thing out there. Like, y'all just disrespectful. A lot of y'all create the very women that y'all hate, bro. And don't take no responsibility. Y'all don't tell people why y'all got a baby mama terrorist. You created a baby mama terrorist. You created that. You created that enemy, bro. And then you want to play victim. Oh, she taking me to the cleaners for no reason. Like, bro, you did her dirty. And the chick that gave her taxes and all types of shit. So, like I said, it's two sides of every story, bro. And a lot of women just smartening up and now they playing dudes. But that's all I got, man. Somebody asked me to talk a little bit about that. Y'all like more talk like that? Check my new channel out, Free Game 89. Listen to Linktree FR3389. It's in the description. Check my Detroit channel out, Motor City Sports Talk. Appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to Angel for donating. Peace.